Okay, folks, welcome. This is the definition of an impromptu, relaxed girls chat between me and you. It doesn't just have to be the girls, it's all of us here. Because I do these every now and again on my channel when something really comes into my mind, and I want to just be able to sit down when I'm feeling that and record. I did this with the how to deal with gaining weight video. I did this with the how to feel when you're going through a transition. And I think there's one other one. I can link those down below if you're curious and you seem to like this style. But I just want it to be exactly how I show up in my day-to-day life. I'm looking a little pale. This doesn't help. It probably looks like my skin color. I have no makeup on, which as you guys know, I usually don't. So I guess that's nothing new. And I just want to talk with you guys freely about something that's really been on my mind, which is why it's so freaking hard to have a good relationship with food. Because as many of you may know, I am a dietitian. I started this channel when I was a dietetic intern, and I started my Instagram channel when I was going into my first one, when I was going into my freshman year of college. And throughout my whole journey, I've had many different types of relationships with food. And now I actually help women that struggle with disordered eating, even borderline eating disorders, work through why they're struggling with that and how they can heal forever. And something that I've been really pondering with everything going on in the world, but also with the clients that I've seen and the people I get to connect with on my Instagram, is I truly feel like there are more people than not that actually don't have a healthy relationship with food. Like, if you look at the majority of people, I would say pretty confidently that at least at some point they have dealt with a time where they struggled with food or exercise or their body image, and most of them may even still be struggling in one way or another. For many people, like a lot of their lives. And when you think about that, that's just really crazy, because how is it that we as a society have a majority of people that are struggling rather than not? And that's what I wanted to talk about today. Don't get me wrong, I am not an expert. These things are not like fact. These are my opinions, but also drawing on my experiences, drawing on some of the research that I've seen as I've gone through my journey and my schooling and all that stuff. But more than anything, just an open conversation that I want to have with y'all. So if you think of things, if you have opinions about this, please drop them down below. I would love nothing more than to hear your point of view, your opinion, your personal experience if you feel comfortable sharing. This is a safe space for us to be able to chat and to get to know each other and to really dive into this topic. Also, is my necklace is always freaking tangled up. Anyways, so what I really wanted to talk about is the influence of diet culture on how we feel about ourselves. Not only diet culture, but also just the media. Whenever I meet with clients at first, I always talk to them about who they're following online. Because I think that this is one of the biggest things that we're facing in this kind of instant gratification, media-filled society nowadays. And especially when we feel like we have this obligation that is definitely important to stay up to date with everything going on in the world. And a lot of that happens on social media now. A lot of us go to social media for opinions rather than going to the news and stuff like that. But that also leads us to just consume more and more and more and more and more. And so much of the time, especially if you've been on, I don't know, they call it like the dark side of TikTok or really harmful Instagrams or all of these different things, are just so many extremes out there right now. Like, for example, I don't know if anybody saw this, but I'm just coming to mind with a picture that Kendall Jenner posted. I will put it up right here. This is in no way me shaming Kendall Jenner, but when she put this up, and even if you go through the comments, it's just, you know, it is not a good depiction of a normal woman. And even if this photo isn't photoshopped, which I don't see how it could not be, but then again, I am not her, this instills such a negative goal into women's minds. I mean, whose hoo-haws are this big? I just want to know. Like, what? And I think that that's the thing. And this happens for men too, for men and for women and for non-binaries and everybody. We are striving for something that is not attainable while also having a healthy relationship with food and our body and exercise for most people, which is really, really interesting, right? This is one of the biggest realizations I came to in my personal journey with an ED, was that the body that I wanted, not only was I not able to achieve that body in any way, like my body would never look like that, but on top of that, there was no way for me to even stay at a smaller body that seemed more similar to that and have a healthy relationship with food or exercise or my body or live in any way that is some sort of sustainable. And I think this is the disconnect that causes these really unhealthy relationships with food. But now when we take this to the next step, there's even more going on than this. Just so we see these bodies that are unattainable for men and for women, and we strive for them. But on top of that, then we try to figure out how to strive for them, right? So how do I need to eat to get there? How do I need to work out? How do I need to manipulate or change these things about myself? And then there's all these opinions on that step. Oh, do this diet. Oh no, just don't eat this thing, or don't eat this much, or work out this way, or whatever it is, right? There's 6 trillion things that I could go through and that I already know you guys could fill out down below. And that even makes it another tier of confusion and stress on everybody. Of even if you're trying to do the right thing for your body, let's say you're just really wanting to get stronger, whatever it is, healthier, as many people say, then there's this element of not even knowing what that looks like. Because some people are gonna say, oh no, don't do keto, that's really unhealthy. I agree with those people, but that's besides the point, okay? That's a null point today. Some people are gonna tell you to go vegan, and that's the only way to be healthy. You know, I don't want to comment on the specifics of all these things. I will just say right now, I don't believe in any specific diet. So that answers all the questions about that. And then it's like, even then there's some people that'll tell you, oh, intuitive eating is really healthy, but that's really confusing to know what that means, right? And so I think that there's this next level of disconnect of not knowing what is right to do and what is right for you, because we're not basing it off of ourselves anymore. What can our body look like? What does my food feel like? What food feels best for me? We're basing it off on all of these other things in the media and diet culture and what other people are telling us, and we're getting exhausted, and that makes us feel bad about ourselves because we feel like we don't know what to do. And this creates an unhealthy relationship with our body, with food, with exercise, with everything. And I was just thinking about that today, and I was just getting tired for all of us. I was getting tired for my old self that was so confused and bouncing between, you know, binging and orthorexia and all of these different things. But I'm also just getting tired for all young women and men, and not even just young women and men, everybody that are dealing with this, and thinking about, like, how do we make this even less of a problem, and how do we start to change this for people? And you know, I don't have the answer for that on my Instagram and on here. I try to do that as much as I can and avoid the the hate comments and not let them get to me. But I think putting out that positive information to combat the media, changing our space, the people that we follow to be more inclusive, to be more positive is huge. Stripping away the amount of time that we're spending on Instagram and spending on social media and looking in the media in general. All of these things that can be so hard on our psyche and our mental health and our confidence in ourselves. Obviously working with someone, I do have a group coaching program coming out that works on this. And I work one-on-one with people. Shameless plug for myself. But if you want to look at those, I'll have them linked down below. But in all seriousness, I just think that this is an important topic to talk about and to realize that you are not alone in how you're feeling. Like, this is more common than not to feel this way. To feel like you don't have a healthy relationship with yourself, or to feel confused, or to just feel like you don't know what the F to do, and you're scared of all these extremes, and you're scared of not feeling good, and you're scared of feeling like you don't have any sort of say in your life and what you want to do. I think that we just need to talk about these things more. There's so much fear mongering and so much negativity and so much fear in general of sharing, of going through things, and you just need to know you're not alone. And as you think about finding that healthy relationship, think about finding what works for you. Sometimes that takes stripping back a few layers, you know, and really getting to what that means. But was my healer, was like finding what actually worked for me and not listening to the noise. And not to say that I'm perfect, you know, no one is ever perfect or ideal. But I just think that's so important to think about, especially when we think about even stigmas and societal norms and all the things that we put on young women and men, and the way that they should look and the way that success looks and all of that. Just such crap. But if we all start fighting against that together, if we all start shifting our perspective and what we see and what we believe is beautiful and what we love and what we appreciate and who we include in our lives, we will start to see a shift. I know we will. So thank you for listening today. I feel like sometimes these videos make me a little insecure because I'm like, what? Who is gonna listen to this? Who is gonna listen to these thoughts that I have? I'm no expert. I don't have it all perfectly put together like some of the YouTubers here that put together the most beautiful renditions of ideas and thoughts around these things. But I think it's important to share, and there's nothing more than I love than just getting to freaking connect and chat with you guys. Because I share a lot here about a day in the life, or how I fuel myself, or, you know, the behind the scenes, or a vlog. But what about like the fundamentals and the things that we actually feel, you know? So if you did enjoy this video, it means so much to me. If you do, give it a like. It really supports my channel. And if you want to see more videos like this, let me know down below in the comments. I'd still love to know your opinion on all of this, your take on it, your experience. And if you want to follow along, click that subscribe button. As I was saying, I upload all different types of videos, talk a lot about all of this type of stuff, but also show vlogs, day in the lives, all of those different types of things in the form of a dietitian. And if you are interested in working with someone, if you're struggling with disordered eating, you feel like you need some help to kind of get that first push, please feel free to reach out to me down below. I have an application linked for my group coaching program, which is launching at the end of April. There are limited spots. If you click that link, you will get onto the wait list when you apply, and it does not require you to buy, but that's how you get early access and discounts for those limited spots. So I do suggest signing up now because they are going quickly. And for one-on-one, please feel free to book a 20-minute consult so I can get to know your journey better. This is better suited for someone that may think they have borderline eating disorder, more severe disordered eating, so we can really get to know your journey, or if you just like to work one-on-one. So thank you for listening to my little spiel. Thank you for listening to this video if you stayed this long. I hope you have a beautiful day. I hope you know I'm always here to talk. Email me, DM me, comment at me. And I'm gonna see you back here again soon. Bye.